Hey everyone, hope you guys are enjoying Monster Hunter Rise or Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak in whichever platform you're choosing to play it on. And today what we're going to be checking out is another couple of developer updates as part of the newest pair of developer campaign posts that they have shared, giving us some details regarding the jungle's new area in the Sacred Ruins. If you watched my previous video regarding the most recent developer campaign post, they provided us some details regarding the jungle area in general. There have been some recent developer interviews that kind of go into more information regarding their decision to make the underground, sacred temple area playable. This is something that they wanted to do in the previous games, but of course the game worlds were pretty much flat. You never really got to see verticality among them. And this time around, with the open area aspects of the entire Monster Hunter experience through Rise and Sunbreak as part of World's expansion in Iceborne, they have been able to fully utilize that. If you haven't necessarily been paying attention to developer campaign updates, this is when they essentially take to social media to give us details regarding some development aspects, the developer ideas, some thoughts, or just simply how they were able to get this game to run, whether it was on the Nintendo Switch or since then the PC version as well, and whatever sacrifice or ideas had to be left on the chopping block. In their first post, they simply mentioned that this is the Under the Jungle Ruins as a new area. We shall make it and call it the Sacred Arena. The cave is a cave temple with plenty of memory and plenty of vitality flowing through it. It is an underground set of ruins where plenty of monsters have been slain. And of course they attach an image of where you usually get to fight Kushala Daora. If you have been fighting monsters around this area, you do get to see that a lot of the elder dragons tend to kind of fly themselves into this burrowing area. A lot of the bigger monsters tend to fight in this arena occasionally, not all the time. You never really catch monsters here. I believe Espinas can sometimes be found sleeping here, as well as a couple of others kind of lazing about. But at the end of the day, not all monsters have access to this area for whatever reason, and the developers, I guess, made it out to be just one of those sacred entrances or areas that monsters will have, only certain monsters will have full access to. In the next post that they shared, they mentioned that this is a distance view that was particularly hard to make as you are focusing on the background. I made it by involving each section of the map as well. Thank you all for your support. And of course they attach an image down below as well, and this is relatively a high point in the jungle area where you can actually see across the distance through sections that you cannot have full access to. So of course other river banks or other sections of the map that are all interconnected, but of course you cannot reach them. They're out of bounds. Reminds me a little bit of like the steeps back in like 4U, for example, where they had that high section area and then you could see across the world map, maybe even to the east of the desert as well. And like Rise and Sunbreak, you can see plenty of things out there, but you don't necessarily have full access to it since they are essentially out of bound areas. So it's interesting to see just kind of like how they were always thinking about those sections that you never really get to travel to, but of course you do get to see. The Frozen Isles is another map that we went to, something similar as well, where they designed the map specifically to be at the center of the isles, but you get to see across all of them and to the backside of the mountain where the hunters come from, but you don't really get to explore outside into the ocean side of things, or maybe to the wet side where there are some mountains to the distance, but you never really get to go there as well. So it's always good that when you get to see one of those big kind of like Monster Hunter maps with all the sections kind of like spread out, they do take that into consideration, and you get to see how it is that they designed the entire world maps in general, although they are sectioned off areas at the end of the day. But that's about all the information that I have for you guys today. Once again, I am a big fan of these developer campaign type of updates where they give us details on just smaller sections of the game or specific areas that they want to share more information on. But if you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.